Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. So we carry on with our Viggen training series. This is Cap trying to learn the Viggen and the boy is teaching me how to do it. So today we've got Stahl and Tender if he can get his third world internet working. So Cap is in the Viggen. I can now start it successfully all on my own really fast. Look, it's fully started, everything works, which is great. So the two things we're going to look at today are Autopilot and the various autopilots that we can do. So we'll do that while we're flying to the target. And the other thing is the Mavericks. We're going to use guided Mavericks today for the first time, so we've armed up with Mavericks, or RB-75s I think they're called. So Stahl, get us airborne, and then we'll have a play round with the Autopilot on the way, and then do some Maverick shooting.
Confirm. So brakes on.
Brakes on.
Spool up.
Watch out.
And second stage burner in 3, 2, 1, go.
Filming this.
Roger, we're joining coffee, we're doing Viggen guided missile training and autopilot training.
Rotate.
Okay, my Discord's
We're on a Havoc server. You're up?
I am writing up a rant for uni about the F-35.
Interesting.
By the way, if you want to play around with the autopilot right now, if you put it into the attitude hold while you're doing this turn, for example, it should continue doing the turn for you.
Roger, I'll wait until we're level because I'll cock something up. Okay, what autopilot should we try first, Stahl?
If you're just ingressing towards the target, you can just be lazy and engage the altitude autopilot, which is the third green light on the right.
So this is the HUD, this is the altitude hold, is that right?
Exactly.
Alright, stand by, I've got to actually click it, so give me a minute. Okay, now I clicked on it and all three lights are now glowing, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, I'm going to just... can you fly with me for a bit, because I can't control myself now. Or can I? Maybe I can. Hang on. I'm just going to have a play.
You can do slide inputs. You can roll a little bit and such. If you're going to yank on the stick, it will start blinking. That means you've just overridden
Roger.
the autopilot.
Viewers, if you see Stahl bouncing about, it's because we're on a public server, and this is just what public servers are like. Okay, so this is keeping my altitude. Now, what if I just want the ATT? That's the attitude, isn't it?
Yes. Now, if you want to just disengage the altitude autopilot,
Roger.
you can, for example, go into a bank or a climb or descend or whatever, and then engage the ATT autopilot, and it should hold that for you.
I'm going to try a banking turn like that, and then ATT is on. So it's just going to carry on doing that, but it can be overridden by my control, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay, and let me go on the HUD again, try that out. So ATT controls your attitude, HUD controls your altitude, let me try that. HUD, yes, very good. And what does SPAC do?
SPAC is your flight stabilization, so that's something you never really want to turn off.
So that's fly-by-wire, is it?
Something along these lines. I think it's just dampness and such.
Roger. So now what about the automatic fart control?
Do you remember the lever I told you about on the back left of your aircraft?
Roger. Push that down, you say?
Shorter one, exactly. Push that down and it should keep your aircraft at 550
Right,
mph.
so that's the automatic fart control, which controls my speed, but it doesn't control like the height or anything, does it?
No, nothing else, just the speed, just the throttle setting.
Can I have my green ones on as well as my automatic fart control?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to put HUD on, and I'm going to put... Wow, I can literally just go to the toilet like this. This is amazing.
Yes, that's why Tender lost it so much for leading information.
Roger, you just sit like this. Beautiful. Okay, so viewers, just to double confirm that, that one there is the altitude control, that there is the attitude control, and that there is the automatic fire control, which is the speed controller.
Exactly.
So now we're going to go and try our Mavericks. So
if you go to your weapon selector, it should be an RB-75, is that correct?
right, stand by, just looking. It's notes on plan, so I'm going to find RB-75. RB-05.
Sticking out.
There is RB-75, roger. And what else?
What you'll want right as you approach the target, but not necessarily while you're navigating there, is you will set your mode selection to ANF.
Roger.
And just in advance, so I'm not claiming this for me, this is actually Bloodsmith I'm about to teach you, so he did a lot of testing with that and finally figured out this is the best way to do it. While you're just sitting here in Autopilot, you can start playing around if you want, just to get a feel for it, if you set it to ANF.
Roger, we're on ANF, so it needs to be an ANF to fire these missiles, I'm guessing?
Exactly, that turns your collimator sight on. You should see now, this is basically just grey screen. It should be locked right now, so you shouldn't be able to move it.
Correct.
If you press the T1 fix button that you found,
Yeah.
now you should be able to slew it around.
Negative. I'm going to try pressing the other fixes, just in case.
You should just don't see it, because, you know, it's just sky and sea, it'll be all grey basically. It's not very visually impressive.
Nothing's moving around, so something's gone wrong. Let me go and check my controls.
And you should press the T1 fix, not the T0 fix, because T0 will bore sight it and lock it up.
Stand by.
No, the HUD doesn't move at all actually, it's the collimator sight. It's the little circular sight to the right of your HUD.
Oh, right. Well, I can't... Am I supposed to look in it? Or, oh, hello.
Yeah, you're looking at it.
Okay, then. Right, let me just backtrack that so I can... Right, so I'm clicking T1 fix, so that unlocks it, I'm guessing, or something like that. Then
Engages it, yeah.
I lean forward with my track IR or virtual headset, and then I can see in here, hello, here's my Maverick sight. Alright, so I can move it about and look at the sea and stuff. Okay.
Exactly. If you press the T0 fix again, it will just foresight and cage your Maverick, so you can't move it anymore.
So
can be useful when you basically just get lost, because it can be very hard since you're zoomed in a lot to actually see where you are.
I pressed T0 fix and I can't see anything now but a white screen, so that was a weird thing to happen.
Yeah, that's because it just aimed back at the sky probably, so you'll just see a greyish white screen.
Roger, I'm going to T1 fix again, and I can move it about again. So how come it didn't... How do I lock it onto something, a specific thing then?
That's the last button we have, so you basically slew it roughly over it, and then you press the TV fix button.
TV fix, okay. And I can still move it about, even when I press TV fix.
Yes, as long as it's not locked onto something, you can.
Okay, and then, so would that be locked onto something now with the TV fix?
Not automatically. I mean, yes, automatically, but not instantly. It will basically look for targets that are distinct visually, and as soon as it finds them, it'll lock onto them. At which point you will basically have to unsave your trigger, press the trigger, then save your trigger again, and afterwards go back to T0, T1, slew it onto your target, lock it up with TV fix, unsave the trigger, press the trigger, and so forth.
Alright, should we go and shoot something then?
Yeah, sure. One last tip. The way Blood does it, and I think it's actually a very good way of doing it because it's quite difficult otherwise to find your targets. First of all, you'll kind of want a waypoint on your targets that will make things a lot easier for you. We already have that here, since it's Havoc. On the X1 we have our waypoint set. You will actually be able to see that. If you're in your ANF screen and you just have, you know, the center dot and those 5 lines, it will give you a little ring when you're looking at a waypoint. So first of all, that will basically show you where that is. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna put your nose above that waypoint, and then just make it so you basically only need to slow down in your sight. Otherwise, it's just very easy to get lost. You won't know where you are anymore. So you can't see very well.
Point the bird in the right place then. Okay, so I make it off to our 3 o'clock. Is that right?
Now, since we're not under any threat here, we're just gonna do it from some altitude because it's easy to learn. But of course, in a combat scenario, you'd come in at tree level and pop up maybe around about 10 kilometers from the target.
Roger.
To maybe 300 meters of altitude roughly is what that said.
Right, I'm going to go back to automatic fire control so we can start getting the missile set up. Stand by. Fire control is on and all other holds are on. I've got RB-75 selected. So we're going into the little scope next.
Exactly. So you want to switch to mode to ANF?
So yep, whoopsie, ANF selected. Okay, I'm looking down the scope and I see some trees.
Yeah, that's why you want to really line up your scope.
Can we zoom in and zoom out?
Negative.
Right. Any idea what we're shooting here?
If you look along the coast, there's right off the coast, there's an X runway with a bunch of smoke over it. Or if you look in your HUD, you should also see a little circle basically on the waypoint.
Yes, I see it. Does the circle appear in the little...
In the kilometer side?
Yeah.
It's just the HUD.
Yeah, that's hard, isn't it? Got
It's
no
not
idea
easy,
where I am.
which is why basically the way Blood taught me to do this, you just put your nose directly above your target. First you acquire it visually from your cockpit.
Yeah.
Put your nose directly above it, and then all you have to do is slew your Maverick side down, and that way you basically can't miss it. Otherwise it's very easy to just get lost in the landscape because you have a lot of zoom, you don't see very well, it's hard to actually keep track of where you are.
Right, well I'm going to turn around and give that another go. Stand by. Flight control off. So when you say point your nose at it, do you mean just in terms of azimuth or in terms of elevation as well?
Just in terms of azimuth, you don't really want to do it in terms of elevation as well, otherwise you'll just lose a lot of altitude. Chances are you might get behind some terrain or trees.
Yeah.
Or crash, worst case scenario.
Do you use altitude hold usually when you do this in reality?
Usually will, yes, particularly after I've fired one Maverick, because you'll start to become unbalanced.
Roger. Is the target the big cross?
Yes, there are several trucks and tanks and also infantry and such there, so...
Can you zoom in the display?
The kilometer side, negative. You choose your zoom level by choosing your Mavericks. So the A level, the A version Mavericks have less zoom than the B, which by the way is not recommendable because you will basically not be able to see what you're actually firing at.
If I do T0 select, does that center it again to the nose?
Yes, of course, it pages it, so you won't be able to slow it until you press T1 again.
Roger. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this now. Right, okay, I've got a better idea of what I'm doing this time, so give it a couple more miles and then we'll turn around. And when it comes to, so then when we're happy we've got a target, we're gonna oh, what was it? TV lock. Automatic flight control is not slowing me down. Shouldn't it be slowing me down to 550?
Well, it will throttle down, but it's not going to deploy air brakes or anything like that.
Roger. So it's just drag that will take it down.
Yeah, over time.
Copy. Fuck, damn, I've lost the target. Can you? Sorry, what were you saying about finding the target? I've lost it completely.
Well, generally speaking, if you want to find your target, if you have completely lost it, you just want to go to nav mode and turn towards your waypoint.
But it's not there though. I'm looking. I see it's to the right. It's to the right. Turning. And my waypoint's set up slightly wrong for some reason.
It will drift over time.
Roger. Okay, nose is now getting pretty good. Okay, nose is now bang on. Getting on the scope again. What's going on? Okay, you alright? Got the target finally. Okay. Tank spotted. Preparing to arm up. Looking for TV lock. Stand by. Press TV lock.
Q6, yes.
It's stopped now, but it's slightly off of the tank. Shall I cancel it?
If you want to do that, you will want to do T0, T1, and then slow again. It will sometimes lock on to bullshit things such as, you know, power lines or just terrain features.
Didn't really lock, it just left it exactly where I'd left it. Okay, hang on, we're going to get this. Standing by for lock, and...
You'll want to get the crosshair kind of close to the target, you want to lock as close as possible.
Okay, it's done it. Now, unsafe. Unsafe,
and trigger.
Go, baby. Let's follow her. It's a slow missile, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You can pretty much fly information with these things. So if you ripple off a couple at a time, you can actually basically have 4 of them impact at the same time, which is quite fun.
Roger. So I went for what appears to be some buildings, but we'll see what happens. Looking slightly long unless it dips down. no, it's long. It is. It went exactly where I aimed it, which is above the target. So it got confused somehow. Interesting.
Yeah, it must have locked onto the ground somehow.
Okay, so let's go and go around again. So automatic fart control off, burners on. Okay, cap is on target and scanning. Okay. Where are you, little bastard? There, no. Damn, I can't find my target. Okay, we're gonna go for something else. Gonna go for that. Locked onto something. I don't like the look of it though.
Yeah, if you don't like the lock, just, you know, T0, T1, slow down again.
Yes, got one. Okay. Cap, rifle. I locked onto something. Rifle is looking bad. That's annoying.
Is it?
Oh no, might be good, might be good. And shack!
Good shot.
Cap shack, okay.
Well, if you want, there's one last thing you could try. You still have 2 maps, right?
Roger.
See if you can ripple them both off at one approach.
So I would need to. Do I have to re-get the lock? Re-get the lock
Exactly.
after? So you got to reset the whole
basically,
thing, yeah?
Yeah. So what you do is, you know, you fly there, you visually engage the target, you put the nose right over it, you put it into autopilot mode, you set it to ANF. Then what you do is you do T0, T1, slew down, engage your target, lock, unsave. Fire the Maverick, safe again. And then you cycle through the same thing again. You do T0, T1, slow down, lock, unsave, fire the Maverick.
Bit of a pain in the arse, isn't it? Okay. On target. Just getting level and level.
Shot, rifle. On a lorry south end of the runway on the field.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going for my target. We are locked. Cap rifle 1. Reset. T1. Slew down. Slew down, come on. Finding same target. Found target. Locked again. Safety. Fox cap rifle 2. And I see the babies go out.
Beautiful.
And one is a shack. 2 shack. Beautiful.
The impact at almost simultaneously.
Yeah, one caught the other, I guess. I must have been going fast with the other. Excellent. Right, that's everything shown. Should we go home and go for a formation landing and then we're done?
Might I recommend the online aerobatics Germany?
Roger.
Low ping and low people.
Ooh, nice ping on that.
These are all good things.
Join in and cash it.
Alright, couple of traffic, Viggen flights on long finals to land on runway 25.
Permission denied.
Permission, we don't care. We're going in anyway.
Go around, fly runway heading, climb and maintain 100,000 feet. Viggen can do it. I saw Blood do it when he won a race.
Roger.
Sorry about that. Deploying gear. Coming in a wee bit up.
Approach is good. Take the right hand side, please.
Gotcha.
Cap's coming in hot. I will be overtaking you at some point. Cap touchdown. Reverser. And Cap is stopped. Beautiful. Well done. Good training, guys. That's what we like.
That was a nice fight.